everybody. Welcome to If These Walls Could Talk.
Hi, I'm Tym Moss.
And I'm Wendy Stuart. Ho, 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 ho. How is everyone?
Oh, I thought you were calling me.
No, that was somebody else. You know, when I walk down the street and I'm with Tim, I hear ho, ho, ho. And I'm like, yeah, we all know about it. It's so good to see you.
It's
Tim and
good
I
to
had
see you.
a blast. We were in 50 Shades of Gay. He's such an
Yes.
amazing singer. It was great.
Oh, thank you. And you actually,
Thank
you
you.
surprised the hell out of me with your singing.
I'm not a singer, but I wrote a
But
very
she
funny
killed
song.
it.
I'm a good, funny writer. But we had a huge audience.
Yeah, that was fun.
And it
Yeah,
wasn't
at the-
just friends, it was tourists.
Yes, at
Tourists.
the Copacabana.
Copacabana.
The hottest spot north of Havana.
There you go. I knew he would know all the words. So Friday night, of course, was like the calm before the storm. We had Dorothy Bishop's show I went to, which was, I was about to say 50 Shades again. Something happened on the screen that threw me off. But the Dozen Divas show, Dorothy, of course, killed it again with Michael Musto.
Mm-hmm.
They're very funny together.
They're great. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really a lot of fun. You know, we've really been turning it out at this holiday season. At the Explorers Club, we honored Jane Goodall last week, which was really an amazing it was I didn't know Jane, but she certainly inspired the work that I've done with gorillas and chimpanzees. And I found myself getting really teary-eyed. And I did get up and speak, and I was having a hard time holding it together. Why? I didn't know her. She didn't know me.
Well, that's how much she affected your life.
Thank you. Right. That's how people can affect each other.
Absolutely.
And Sunday, I was out in Pennsylvania, TriVersity Center, which services the rural areas of the tri-state.
And you had your holiday party, was that right?
We did have our holiday party, which was, I didn't perform. We just stuffed ourselves. We had empanadas. Let me just tell you about empanadas. They're binding, aren't they? Are they binding?
They're good. Yes.
But they're binding, right?
Yes,
Am I correct that
yes.
they're binding? I don't, we have to be careful in the holiday season.
Yes, absolutely.
Because there's so much like weird food and stuff going around.
Yep. But you had mentioned Michael Musto.
Yes.
I just came from having brunch with him. It's his birthday. So I took him out for birthday brunch.
Oh, cool.
That was fun.
Cool.
I had two good friends of mine from high school, Rick Hook and Kelly Brown. Hi, Rick. I think you're watching.
Hi. They were lovely.
They came out. They decided they wanted to come out and see 50 Shades of Gay, our Christmas show last Saturday. And they were having trouble finding they were checking all the hotels in town, and they were all like $1,000 or more a night,
right,
just for the holiday season. So I said, well, if you don't mind some cramped living, come and stay with me. And I'm so glad they did, because it gave me much more time with them. We had a ball. It was so great having them out here. So in exchange for that, they ended up like buying my meals and took me to a Broadway show. We got to see Death Becomes Her. We saw that on Friday night. Funny.
It was funny. It was great. You loved it.
And then Saturday we had the show, and Sunday we hung out, and Monday they left. But it was a wonderful weekend.
They had a great time in New York.
We all did.
Whenever we can, if we can have our friends stay with us, it's always a better idea. I like having the control of having them under my roof.
But it was, and the cool thing was at 50 Shades of Gay, Rick was going, is that Jed Ryan over there? Is that Jeffrey Friedman? Like he from where he's friended a lot of my friends and started seeing them in person and got to meet them in person. And we all just had a ball.
I'm really glad that you brought that up, Tim, because that is what, honest to God, say what you want about Facebook. I mean, I'm no defender of things on there. However, and this is a big however, look at how we have all cross-pollinated. Right. From all of us knowing each other. And really, during the pandemic, Facebook was like a lifeline for most of us.
Yeah.
And we created all those wonderful friends and people that I get work from people that I know on Facebook. So, I love that they got to see all your friends in the flesh.
Yeah. Well, they're his friends now too. So.
Yeah. Right. And that's what we're about, because we are one big happy family. Me and Tim, broadcasting here from Pangea. Yes. So it's the most wonderful time of the year. And when I was thinking about, I like that angle better. When I was thinking about who would be a perfect guest to have on the show today. First of all, we love this
Who
person.
encompasses Christmas?
Christmas and calls themselves the last of the good time Charlies. Has a last name of Sturkey. When I met this person I think it was 5 years ago.
It's been a while.
Said to me, rhymes with turkey.
Yeah.
Who's going to say that about themselves? He's like a little bit Tiny Tim, but you know what? He's definitely his own person.
Absolutely.
I can honestly tell you, Tim and I have watched the trajectory of his career go straight up.
Yep.
Was right?
And also my friends that were out this weekend was Rick Cook and Kelly Brown. And Kelly ended up sitting with him at 50 Shades of Gay and fell in love. They're just like besties now. She loved him.
Yeah, how can you not love him? So we're going to show some love. Please welcome the most amazing talent, great person. I just love this guy, Jackson Sturkey.
Hi.
All right,
Hi,
we got to
everyone.
skedaddle
We're
in
gonna squeeze
here.
in.
Oh, we got it
All the way in.
Okay, are we in? We're
like
all in.
sardines in a tin.
Yeah.
So I was over there enjoying your Christmas cookies.
Oh yeah, right. My Christmas cookies.
Homemade.
Yeah, right. In someone else's home.
The
So-
black and white cookies, which is
Yeah.
a very New York cookie.
You
right.
gotta have them.
I always like to serve them when I can get them. You can't get them everywhere though.
No. And the thing is, too, you got to get good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Were these good? They
yes.
were from Trader Joe's. What did you think?
You know what? They're good enough. They
Oh,
got me there.
that means they weren't that
They
good.
got me there. I'm not gonna say no. Don't give me a cookie.
I just got shade
I'm
on my
just-
cookies.
I'm just, but I'm gonna say the situation isn't black and white. We're open to the shades of gray on the quality of these
black and white
cookie
cookies.
shade. Cookie shade. Did you try one, Tim?
No, but
Yeah.
usually they're the big ones.
He
Yeah.
refuses to eat them because they're from Trader Joe's. He said that. He said that was.
No, you
I
love
have the
Trader
off-camera.
Joe's.
I do. I love
No,
off
Trader
camera.
Joe's is coming, and this is a free advertising from them. They have made buying food in New York doable.
Yes,
And I will say that most of their items are reasonably priced. And yeah, I have to give a shout out to them. you
Well,
know?
and don't get us wrong. This could be a paid ad, Trader Joe's. If there's any
Yeah,
representatives
send us
of
money.
Trader Joe's watching, these are the ones to fund. Give them money. They will have
Thank
a lot
you.
of fun.
Could you give us money, please? And just in general, even if it's not Trader, to give us money. You know where to find us. You have been so busy. And when I met you here at Pangea, we were doing those variety shows here.
Yep, the late
Oh,
night
yes.
variety.
The late night varieties, the Spice
Singers,
of
what a
Life.
lineup. And there were so many wonderful people coming through, like Darius Harper.
Oh my
Oh, I
God,
love
the
Darius.
people that were
Yeah.
here,
Oh my
right?
God. And
Yeah.
it was just like a real who's who of the downtown scene.
Yeah.
The talent was
Yeah.
unbelievable.
God, a lot of them have been on Broadway since.
Yeah.
Yeah, which
Mhm.
is really, really amazing.
And I was able to sneak in the back door. I was
Is that what
He's
they're
a
calling
back
it these
door
days?
man.
I was dressed as the janitor. it's that old story where there's that guy at the circus, and he's at the circus and he is shoveling elephant dung and he is just miserable. And someone comes up to that old guy one day and they say, "Well, why don't you just quit?" And he says, "And leave show business."
Right, exactly.
I'm very that about it. I want to be doing it. I want to
Well,
be down
you
there.
are
Well,
in
but
the
in
you,
it.
but
trenches.
You
hello,
are in it.
you are doing it. I've just, you're everything, everywhere, all at once. From your open mic at Cuckoo's, I
Yep.
remember you
Yeah.
talking about that. You just managed to do it all.
Well, and so I've got the open mic every Wednesday over at Soho Playhouse. It's
Soho
yeah,
Playhouse, right?
Cuckoo's open mic.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Tonight we're starting late, but normally
What
we
time,
will.
yeah. What time do you normally?
We
start?
normally start at 9:30 on
That's
Wednesdays.
late.
And then I'm usually getting out of there at 3:30 a.m. The show usually runs from about 10 to 2:30 a.m. and then we just hang out for an hour.
Mhm.
I had someone once say to me that it's anarchist church. And I like to look because we all take 7 minutes being the pastor, getting
Yeah,
up there and
right,
sharing
right.
our art. And I have seen 4 years of hosting this post-COVID. I have seen so many artists get up there and say, "I wrote this poem, this song, this monologue earlier tonight."
Oh, I love that.
And
right.
to be able
It's
to see people that
they
we are
can
the places they
workshop
bring
it, right.
exactly, and to be able to
Nice.
workshop in front of a really wonderful theater-going audience.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Is one of those ones, and so that is something that I have to do. I take the last 2 weeks of the year off, and then we're right back to it.
So, are you
going,
going to
going,
have
going.
one next week?
We're gonna have one next week featuring Geneva Rust Orta, who is very funny. So
She's a stand-up comedian.
she's a stand-up comedian. She's just about to go on tour.
Oh
And
my
So
God.
do you have like one featured artist?
We
a
do.
week?
Yeah.
And
We do.
then-
We have one
and then
featured artist who does
others-
half an hour, and then everyone else can sign up to have 7 minutes to do it.
Mhm,
And we've had a lot of familiar faces on the show.
mhm.
Wow.
And then we've had about 5 bands form because of the show. We've had a few people
Amazing.
do like half hour of their piece and then take it to a theater festival. We've had
Wow.
Zach Zucker. We've had Evie Echoes in the Locations, Hurricane Holly, Mimi Oz. And then this week there was someone who came and performed last week. Now tonight we're starting at 11 p.m.
Oh my
and
God.
going
I
late.
would love to do this.
That would be fun,
Yeah,
though.
but I
Well-
can't.
Well, last week there was this wonderful couple that came through. Route 1. They sounded like Simon and Garfunkel or something.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God.
And they were like, "We're only in town for a month."
Oh,
Now,
I love
because
it.
we were starting late, we weren't planning on doing a feature, but they were so good that we were like, "Would you guys feature with us
I
next
love
week?"
that.
Oh,
And
so they're
so-
going to be there.
So they're going to be there tonight.
How
Oh,
cool.
nice.
And it's like that sort of thing that it's
Wow.
open. People will talk about this idea of like, oh, the sidewalk cafe is gone. Oh, where's the anti-folk
Right.
festival? All of these sort of downtown institutions.
Right.
And it's like those communities still exist.
You're right.
They're with us at
Right.
they're with us at Soho Playhouse, Cuckoo's Open Mic. They are there with the Lifeboat mics there on Saturdays. The Music In, the open mic under St. Mark's is the source.
And
Yeah.
that's
just
right.
right around
and
the
I know
corner.
that. Right.
Uh-huh.
No, you're right. These people still exist, and there's new ones pulling up the rear.
Exactly.
It's a matter
Mhm.
of getting it out there to let people know about it.
And it's one
And
of those-
creating the space for
Yeah,
them to come.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
or
Exactly.
even Freak Out, Chancey Dance's
Yeah,
show.
Yeah,
Chauncey's
Chauncey's show. Yeah,
show
Freak
as
Out
well.
at Stonewall.
And,
Right.
and it's like you can't find 50 Shades of Gay.
Mhm.
right.
The community around that.
But these
as
are
well.
okay. But these are not like the weekly thing is tough. I
The
do
weekly
two
thing is-
podcasts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Every Wednesday. The weekly thing is just tough. I meet myself coming around a corner. The fact that you do this showcase every Wednesday night is really, and it's late.
Well, and it's the starter. Like it's like
I want to do it. I want to come and do it. I have
yeah.
material I'd like to try.
you got half an hour material.
Do I have to do? No,
You
I
want a
don't want half
feature?
an
You want a
hour.
feature?
I have 10. I have 10 really good minutes that I feel comfortable. You know, honey, I have like holes in my brain, so I have memory
Well,
problems.
Oh, I
mean,
could
what if
do a
we-
half hour.
Well, here's
Tim,
what I'm
I'll
saying.
give you
What
half
if
an
we did?
hour.
What if we did this as half an hour? What
Oh,
we
I
had-
would love that.
What if we do the
Do you-
little?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You guys could come up with half an hour together.
That would be
and
great.
do it as a time for if these walls could talk.
I think that is like a brilliant,
that's fine.
right.
That's
But I'll wanna
showbiz,
come back
baby.
Okay, there you go.
I wanna
That's
This is
come-
showbiz. You're seeing the behind the scenes.
creativity, right? This is
But I
how.
want to come another time and do and sing.
Yeah.
And so we're doing this Wednesday. We're starting late. Next Wednesday is the last show of the year. Geneva Rustorda featuring. Doors at 9:30.
and
So
then
that,
you start
and
off.
then we're gonna. I like to take those last 2 weeks of the year off if I can
Yeah.
help it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm doing it too. We are going to be on hiatus, and I never do that. I'm not going to be here with Tim on Christmas Eve. I'm not going to be
Or
here
New Year's
or
Eve.
New
Yeah.
Year's Eve. I've got parties both those times, and I'm like, and you know, Tim pointed it out to me. I think it was like 2 years ago. He was like, "Why are we doing a show?" But it was Thanksgiving. You're like,
Yeah.
people are home getting their, you know. I go
Let's
on
just
automatic
play and
pilot,
repeat.
right? I do go on automatic pilot, and it's like that never occurred to me. And this year, it was
Right.
like, I am not hauling.
I'm trying to teach this woman how to relax.
It's really- it's so hard.
What? Relax. What's
Relax,
that?
Relax. It's Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Relax. Go to it. So,
But so I'm doing Cuckoo's Open Mic every Wednesday.
Yes.
This
at
year
Soho Playhouse.
at Soho,
Soho
Playhouse.
Playhouse.
I did 3 shows this year with GPC Entertainment.
Yeah, can
which
you
were shows that were hours of
elaborate?
my
Because that was
rehearsal.
new for me to find out about that with you. You pop up, you're at, I call it Chelsea Table and Chairs.
I do Chelsea Table and Piers.
Chelsea Table and Stage.
Yeah.
Right. I call
Although what a name for a venue.
right.
But they got good stuff going on over there.
Great
They're doing
stuff.
pianos,
Yes, they
Clea
do.
Blackhurst, and
Randy Edelman's been there a number of times. I'm going to see him at Carnegie Hall. He's played there. Eileen Shapiro's produced him there. It's a beaut. By the way, it's
Yeah, it's a
you want
gorgeous
love-
space.
you want to come
space.
down that staircase. It makes you
Yes.
feel like Dolly Levi,
Yes,
like entering the
yes.
Harmonia Gardens. You're like,
Yes.
I'm a little old me just doing a show.
But even you know how in most of these places the tables are on top of each other.
it's
and-
spaced
Yeah,
out.
right.
This is like you feel elegant when
You
you're
do,
there,
yeah,
and the
yeah.
prices are no higher or lower than anywhere else in New York.
And I'm always encouraging people to dress up for my shows.
You,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
I
that,
wanna
I love
see it.
that.
I want there to be more sequins in the audience than there are on stage, if we can make it so.
So as you've been like, I couldn't come to you. You did 3 shows there.
I did 3 shows.
I want to come to one of them, so just don't give up on me.
Well, and in particular, I'm working with GPC Entertainment, formerly the Guilty Pleasures Cabaret, and they did a residency down at the Duplex for many years. They were doing a monthly show down there, and so I remember going and seeing the first time I went and saw one of the shows, and I thought, I want to be. I had that Roxy Hart at the beginning of Chicago, like seeing myself up there on stage with them.
You were Roxy Hart.
I was. I got the legs for it. This angle won't show them off.
No, that won't.
At home, trust.
Got the game.
See, I know. I brought one ball up here, although it's more of a stress ball situation. Although, look at this. I'm ready to fight evil.
Jackson.
But so I saw them. And then through a friend of mine, I was able to host some of their shows. He needed someone to come in as a ringer.
Yeah, you are. Oh, yeah, you're the ringmaster. I was going to say MC, but you are a ringmaster.
And it's one of those things that I then post 2020 started producing shows that are hours of my original music.
Fabulous.
In 2020, I started meeting every Monday with Will Studebaker.
Right.
And now he is my emotional support ginger.
But he's also, right. We love Will, and he is your writing partner.
He is my writing partner. Together we are Sturkey and Studebaker now. And so I went to GPC Entertainment and I said to them, here's what I think is holding you back. You're not choreographing to original music. Because you can choreograph like the best thing.
This is brilliant.
Absolutely.
Right.
Well, and so I said to them, here's 33 songs. What do you like? And so we picked out of those. We had to sit down and they were like, okay, well, this is like this. And I think this was something that was kind of like the best idea in a way is they have about 10 years of dances that they have done.
Wow.
With the choreography and everything. And I said, well, what if we took one of those dances, turned off the volume, and then wrote a song that would go with that pre-existing dance?
So you had to write the song.
And so with that was one of the ways that we started writing with them. Is so I had the 33 songs, but then, okay, well, if we write something from scratch, what dances do we like best? Okay, what's the tempo? How long is it? What's the verse? What's the song structure of verse, chorus, bridges, and stuff? And so then we were just able to emulate that directly and then write songs that would go with pre-existing dances. And so that was able to shorten the production time on some of the numbers.
It's still a lot writing songs to go with pre-existing dances.
Well, and so for that first one, it was just a variety show. 33 songs, but we narrowed it down to about 15 songs. And so then we were like, okay, there's 8 of these songs, 8 of these acts that we've developed that are really good.
Yeah.
But a show is about 13. So we had to write 5 more. And that was our summer show, XOXO.
Wow.
Kind of a showbiz, should I stay or should I go sort of thing.
Should I stay or should I go? XOXO.
Exactly. have I given you're that's it, you're hired. We're getting rid of Will. But it was that sort of that, should I stay or should I go? And then, have I given too much to this life of show business and that sort of thing? And so it was exploring some of those themes and it had a really positive response. But we got to the end of June and I had been thinking about it. The very first show we did was in October. It was a Halloween show. And the theme was I'm That Witch. And Andrea Palesh, who's the creative director, she gave me this book, Witches, Sluts, and Feminists.
Perfect for you, Jeff.
It was, I didn't know, I started reading it. I thought I was reading the book and I was like, is this changing my life right now?
Oh, I thought you were going to say it's an autobiography.
How dare she give me my own diary for this show?
Really?
And so I picked it up and read that. Well, and I was so inspired by that. And so when I was percolating on all of these ideas and things of like the idea of witchcraft and the idea of things that have been like historically maligned women who, if they were in a different era, would they have been treated any differently?
Right.
And it started to like unpack all that in my head. So I got to the end of June and I went to Will, my writing partner, and I said, Will, I think we should start from scratch for this next show, not use any pre-existing material.
Wow.
And so, and Will said, if we do that, we would have to, he said, Jackson, if we start writing a song a week between now and then,
that's a lot of work.
Then that means we're going to be done at the beginning of October. And I said, well, that's no good because we're going to have to choreograph the numbers, write all this. And I said, so we're going to have to write 2 songs a week. And so between the end of June and October and Labor Day, Will and I wrote 11 songs for the show we just did, I'm That Witch, which we just had at Chelsea Table and Stage, sold out run. And it was one of those moments where it's like in June, that whole show was an idea in my head.
Yeah, wow.
That's
And now
amazing,
it
though.
is
You're
watching
working
it on stage.
Yeah, right.
And-
in record-breaking time. You're
Yeah.
really an amazing producer on top of everything else.
Well, and a big part of that is that partnering with GPC Entertainment, Andrea Palesh and Mel B, not that Mel B, the other Mel B, working with them and Will, there's just this little like creative mind meld that is taking place.
This is what has to happen.
And it's, and you know, when it comes to writing partners, I've been polyamorous in the past. And you know, I'm just interested in writing songs. That's the thing that I do better than other people. Because you know, some people are like, some people are naturally talented.
Right.
I'm not one of those people. I work really hard at it.
You never know that on stage. You have your whole, you're like Tiny Tim and something else. And Tim's right.
Let's talk about you and your. I had somebody say, I was saying, oh yeah, Jackson Sturkey is going to be our guest, and well, what does he do? I was like, well,
what doesn't he do?
Well,
if the price is right.
That goes for all of us, by the way, not just Jackson Sturkey.
Because I was kind of like, well, he's kind of a cabaret performer, but he's much more than a cabaret performer, and
he's funny.
He's a songwriter, and
he's songwriter.
but the thing is you are such an original. Your music, your style.
I was having this conversation with someone the other day, Tim, and they were like, would you be interested in acting in this piece? And I said, well, as long as you recognize I'm not an actor, I'm a personality.
Yeah, there we go.
Join the club.
Exactly.
Yes.
Join the club. That's a hard category for many people, but you know what? That's the only category I get hired in, and I took this many years for me to realize that's where I'm going to get hired.
Well, but I bring your own lights, Wendy.
I do bring my own lights.
You bring your own lights,
because I was like, well, he's more than a cabaret performer. He's got a little burlesque going in there, and got like you're just this amalgamation. You just got so many different
and it's
parts and styles to you.
Well, and the thing is, I like it. I actually like it. I actually like people. When it comes to theater, I like how the sausage is made. I happen to like New York.
Yeah,
you know, it's very much that I am lucky that what I want to do is what other people want me to do.
Right.
And it's something that I have found in this collaboration that I've been doing with GPC Entertainment in particular is to have a group of people who trust and care about my vision. There's going to be a number of mine, which we'll be listening to in a little bit.
Yes.
And it was one of the first numbers that I choreographed with them. And when I went to that rehearsal room for the first time, they'd printed out the lyrics to my song, Excuse Me, Mr. Hayward. And they had done the script analysis of the lyrics. And after we had gone through that, I went to Andrea, who's, you know, the head of GPC.
Creative.
And I said, thank you for treating this like it's the fucking cherry orchard.
I love it. I love it. Right. Well, there's a respect. See, that's what you're saying, the respect.
And it's one of those things I internally, and I think this is something that's important for artists, is you have to know that what you are doing is good.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you have to have, some people don't have that taste, and something that I think is a process in being an artist is what you like and what your taste is.
Right.
Your abilities are always chasing that.
Right.
It's like you're kind of haven't ever arrived at your what you like and what your taste is being the same. You're always sort of chasing that as you're taking in new art, taking in new mediums, taking in new forms. But you have to believe that where you are right now and the resources that you have and what you're doing, that you have to believe that you are working to the best of your ability with what you're doing.
Right.
Good enough.
And that is good enough. But you also have to know if someone gives you something as performers, and whether you want to use the word actor or whatever, you are an entertainer. You are an entertainer. People give us stuff. And this past 2 years, I have actually turned stuff down. It's not because I'm arrogant. It's because I can't bring that thing to life. It's got nothing to do with what I do. You need an actor that can do that. I'm not that. If you're hiring me, you're getting this whole package and we're going to work together. But if you're looking, I can't fit into that. You've got to be able to call that out. And people said to me, you turn things down? Absolutely. Am I going to turn down Netflix? No. But with a lot of this theater stuff, if it's going to be painful for me, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Now, what would you consider yourself? singer, songwriter, lyricist, actor, like,
Well,
or just yes?
because I'm a hard yes. No,
I love that.
I'm a
You're
hard. You know, they say sometimes they say some people in the in the industry are like a hard no on
Right,
certain
you're a hard
things.
yes.
I'm a hard yes.
You're
But-
like a good time Charlie, though. You use that phrase all the time,
yeah,
because
right?
I'm
Tim would agree with that.
I'm definitely, when I think about myself, is like my shows and stuff. Something I was saying about the show I'm That Witch, our big Halloween show that we
Yeah.
did, is I said, do you need to feel better? Come and see this show.
I love that. And
And-
people do.
And they do, and they do,
Yeah.
because it's one of those things that I respect so much, that exchange that is taking place between us as the performers and the audience. It's a gift. It's a gift
Yeah.
that I am giving them. It's a gift that they are choosing to spend their time. Like, the biggest compliment I get is when someone brings their mother to one of my shows.
I love it.
Oh, I love it. It's so
I love it,
adorable.
right.
And, to have it, it's like you
I
could be
love it.
taking your mother to see, Death Becomes Her right now. You could be
But
taking your mother,
but
you brought your mother here, and the fact that they
And it's
trust me.
generational.
Yes,
That they know that their parents would enjoy this.
because
Right.
I'm also, aside from being a hard yes, I'm a hard PG-13. I
And a hard yes.
I do think of when I've been singing my whole life.
Mhm.
And so there is something of that. It's like, he's a singer. And then I learned the other skills of, being able
Yeah.
to, dance, act, entertain, move well. But when I look at myself in life and I'm like, what would career success be? It's all based around the songwriting. Career
Mhm.
success for me will be getting a show on Broadway that runs, writing the songs for a Disney movie, writing a James
I
Bond
love
theme
it.
song.
You're so focused.
And I
Uh-huh.
want to make a show like the Rockettes.
I
Yeah.
love it. I can
Runs
see,
and
I can
runs and
see you
runs.
doing that,
Yeah.
right?
And
Yes.
the stuff that I'm developing with GPC Entertainment right now, that is the seed of,
Right.
of being able to make a
Nice.
show
Good.
that is about dancers, because I love theater. I love Broadway. I love that whole environment and ecosystem. And I think about a show like Chicago
Mhm.
that runs and runs and runs, and how many people that not only is
Right.
their first Broadway gig, but for some people it is their career to
Right.
be doing
Yes,
these
correct.
shows.
Right.
And so if I could write something that is in that is sort of, a love letter and helping take care of the people that I'm working with, that's what I want to do. My goal with GPC Entertainment, the shows that we're doing now are an hour long. I want to get them booked on cruise ships. I want to get them booked at
Oh, they
casinos.
sound perfect for cruise
Oh,
ships.
God, yeah.
yeah.
And it's like, my goal for myself is to write 12 of them. So that's one for each month of the year, so that they can be performed in rep.
Mhm.
And
Wow.
so figuring
Wow.
out what are those themes, what are those things, and to have these creatives who, when I said to them, do we want to start from scratch in June for a show in October, that they said yes and did. Something that happened.
Amazing, right?
And amazing. Like, there was something that so the show is kind of like I'm That Witch, our Halloween show.
yes.
It's kind of like an Alice in Wonderland, Wizard of Oz sort of thing. Young lady gets plucked and brought into this
Right.
alternative
Plucked.
world.
Right.
I was playing a cat, and a cat with no name, although
Mm.
Mr. Pussy amongst my intimates. And I was so in that we have 5 witches who are trapped and being made to perform in this circus. So our 5 witches were Medusa, they were Joan of Arc,
Oh my God, this is so perfect.
they were the Queen of Hearts, they were Lilith, the mother of
Okay.
monsters, and the dead girl from every true crime podcast.
Yeah.
I love it.
And so
you came up with all.
I
of
came up
these
with all of
characters.
those.
I
Yeah,
love
there
it.
was and so, but initially, we weren't going to do Medusa. Originally, we were going to do Lizzie Borden,
Mm.
and I wanted to do this. This is what the bit was going to be. So I wanted her to come out in like the nightgown and like drenched in blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And I wanted to do like at the top of the song like the Tina, bring me the
The
axe.
axe.
and then someone was going to toss her a saxophone.
Oh,
And she was gonna
I
start
love that. That's so
ripping on it.
right.
And so that the song was going to be something like like, watch out, Lizzie's got an axe. She's a killer with that thing. And one of the producers said, no, I don't want to do Lizzie Borden. They said, I think that Lizzie Borden is a white chick who got away with murdering her parents because of that
right.
sort
And
of like,
the reality of what.
privilege.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and she said, she says, I think it's antithetical to what we're saying within the whole show.
Mhm.
And so we were like, okay, well, it has to be a comedic number.
Right.
Mhm.
It has to be a historically maligned woman. and we haven't done a tap dancing number yet.
I'm dying to know who you came up with this
Medusa.
criteria.
So with that,
right.
so with that, then we ended up just settling on Medusa. And
Medusa tapping.
Medusa
That's
tapping.
what I was going to say. Yeah, right.
And we had the other backup. We had these sleeves that were snakes.
Yeah.
And so then her arms were the snakes.
Oh,
And then our backup
Brilliant.
dancers had the little arms that were snakes as well.
Brilliant.
And and then Will was like, I think it needs to be like a one joke song. Like I was very much thinking of like, we're in the money, you know, sort of like thinking of like that. And so then Will was like, well, it's Medusa. So what if the joke is something like, let them look? That always gets them hard. And so then I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay. Times are tough. Let's get tougher when things get rough. We get rougher. Let them look. That always gets them hard. And it was just,
That's what
I
I'm
love
talking
it. I
about.
know, because Jackson can do just exactly that's great.
well, and when it comes to that songwriting, it was in 2020 when everything closed. And I was supposed to do a big show here at Pangea on March 28th.
Oh my gosh!
Everything
Right, I
closed
went
down
to
the
like the
15th.
last show they had here
Oh
too.
gosh,
Oh.
I was out at Young Ethel's doing one last show before everything shut down. I had already been, as we all were, because it's like we're not opening tomorrow. I was let go from like 2 jobs.
Right,
It's like
and
we
I
have
didn't
to be
even
closed
know
for the
you
next 2
then.
weeks.
And you, Young Eckville's is up near where I live. I didn't even know you.
Oh.
You were so close, I could have smelled you. I can't. But I was
Is that
here
what that stink
before
is?
they shut everything down. Yeah, a lot of us, we had the rug pulled out from under us.
Well, and so I had 2 people reach out to me. One was Dan Ricker, who's very dear to me, but don't tell him that; it'll go to his head.
Dan is dear.
And so
Dan.
Dan was like, "Why we should probably finish working on this musical that we're working on." And then I had Will Studebaker reach out to me, and Will said, "I want to work on writing music with you." And he had a car at the time, and so he would bundle himself
Was
up.
it a Studebaker?
It's
Keep going.
It's a whole digression. It's a whole
I
digression.
digress.
Because there's half of the family that was about cars and half of the family that was about wagon wheels.
Stop.
And so he's on the wagon wheel
He's
side
on
of
the
the family.
wagon wheel side of the family.
Wrong side
right.
of the family. But so that being said, he said, I want to, work with you. So we'd bundle up in his car and we joined our COVID bubbles. And he would come over on Mondays and we would work on music.
Wow.
And so then I had
You used the time well.
well, and it was I knew that on Wednesdays I was meeting with Dan, and I knew on Mondays I was meeting with Will.
Right.
And so I had my homework in between, and I got into this habit of just writing anything, but I would write about 10,000 words a day. And I would just be
Wow.
sitting there like
So
I would set
focused.
a
I'm so
timer
impressed.
and do it, but it was the only thing I could do. I went from being out 6 nights a week performing and
Right,
singing
right.
to like nothing.
Nothing.
To
Yeah.
nothing.
Well, hello.
And it was
we-
only and it was only going to last 2 weeks, right?
right. That's what they told us. This show
Yeah,
was born
exactly.
from the pandemic.
Ah,
I said to Tim, we were sitting out in front. I'm
Yeah.
like, we can do a show in there. And my PR person had a wonderful talent. All their tours were canceled.
Yep.
I'm like,
Yeah.
let me call
And
her.
everybody
and
was
say,
sitting at home.
everyone was sitting at home, and that's how we started If These Walls Could Talk. We were streaming people in. That's all we did. We would sit here in this little corner.
Well, and I know working with Dan and doing that streaming and stuff, that sort of connection was so meaningful. I remember
It was
at first
something, it was
exactly
something.
because we were so starved from what we
Right.
had
Yeah.
been doing.
I wish I had known you then. I didn't know you then. I didn't meet you till after.
Well, and I wonder. This is something I wonder about in life in general too. Is I sometimes, and we had mentioned this earlier with our mutual friend Catherine.
Right, Catherine Schuler, the amazing
Which,
Catherine
yes,
Schuler,
which we will
my fairy
yeah,
get
godmother.
into
we want
a
to
little
talk
later.
about, yeah.
But something that I recognize with Catherine is we had a chance to meet in 2010, like our paths crossed.
Wow.
And I wasn't ready.
Uh-huh.
Right.
If I
Right.
had met her at the time,
You wouldn't have
I
known,
wouldn't have been.
yeah,
I wouldn't have been ready.
right.
Right.
And then
right.
we met in 2015, and she is like, she's my mom in the
Yeah.
city.
Mhm.
She's
Yeah.
the
Mhm.
dearest person to me in the world.
Right.
She is that, and it's one of those things that I met her right when I needed her, and I think it was at a time when she
was
needed
sent
me as
to,
well.
sent
Yep,
to you. Yeah,
exactly.
she is a brilliant creative.
And
Yes.
just everything.
Yeah,
just everything.
she
Yeah.
is everything.
Producing fashion shows, and
She just
Yeah,
does it.
yeah,
She does it
yeah.
all. Yeah.
and it's one of those things that I feel like I learned a lot from her, especially about how to network,
right.
but like just about how to be in the city in a way that is healthy and uplifting and good.
Because that's who she is.
Yeah.
Healthy,
Mhm.
uplifting,
Yep,
and a good
yep.
person.
Because I think I met you here at Pangea
Mhm.
with Kat.
Yep.
you and Kat were having dinner over here, and I think it was Alan's birthday or your birthday or something.
Yeah, one of our.
And
we
I
used
went
to
over
do our
to talk to
birthdays on
Kat,
here.
and
And,
she
and there was
introduced me
so much cake. There was so much cake.
Yeah, it was one of our birthdays. I like
One
those
of our
cakes from
birthdays.
Venero's. Oops, another commercial. We love Venero's cakes.
They were so
Send money.
that cake was so good. It was like a strawberry shortcake.
It was.
Yep,
You
that was
remember it? It
Venero's.
with whipped
And-
cream
that was
in it.
Venero's.
And not to tell on ourselves, but I think that Catherine and I together both had more than one piece of that cake. But somebody had to. I think you brought the cake to another event the next day.
Don't. Oh my God.
You're recycling the cake.
You know what? A girl does what she's got to do. That's
Oh,
it
man.
in this
But
world.
Kat, oh my God, what an
Oh,
amazing
wow.
and this.
Oh
show
yeah,
us
yeah. She
this.
started doing jewelry.
Ah.
So this is we're QVC now. This is a
Now we're
this is
QVC.
a power piece, power dot pieces. I'm sorry, it's upside down. You can see it is the
Beautiful.
Scarlet Witch is on there. And so Catherine recycles comic books and will make this. You can find her on Instagram at power.pieces, and that'll have to find out more. But she's also partnered with Comic Books for Justice, and they're doing after school programs.
She's up
Yeah,
in the Bronx
in the
today,
Bronx.
She's up in the
working
Bronx
with kids
today
up
doing
there.
it.
She's amazing.
She's
I
amazing.
don't know how she finds the time
Well,
to do everything.
and, you
she
know,
does.
two things about her. Catherine always has said to me, I want to be the kind of person I wish I had met when I first moved to New York City.
Wow. Nice.
That's like amazing.
And
Wow.
she is that.
Wow.
Because
Yes,
it's
she
one of those
is.
things too. This is a big city with a lot of doors, and that is intimidating and scary when
Yeah.
you first get here. And something that Catherine did for me, and I've seen her do it for other people, is she knows which doors you should be knocking on.
Right.
What you're
That's-
interested
you
in
you
doing.
want to know
She
something?
can
That
cut
that's her
all of that.
talent. That
Yeah,
is-
she can
yeah.
cut all of that wasted time out of the way.
And it's one of those things
That's
that
a gift to
she,
be able to do
yeah.
that for
Well-
other people.
Well, and the thing is, she might not knock on the door for you, and she
Right.
most certainly is not going to go through the door and do the
It's
work
up to
for
you
you.
to
Right,
do that.
exactly.
But
Right.
the fact that she's able to cut that out all
Yeah.
of that time,
Exactly.
and be like, "That's the door." It's one of those things that has allowed me to get to where I am
I love
with
it.
what I'm doing. She told me about the open mic at Under St. Mark's, which is
Mhm.
run by the people who run New York City Fringe Festival now,
Who are
Oh,
yeah.
good.
and Frigid New York. They're awesome.
Yeah.
Get into it. Go to the Queerly Festival. Go
Yep.
to the Gotham Storytelling
Yep.
Festival. But so through that, I was able to meet all of these theater makers and get into this
Mhm.
downtown
She was your
scene.
catalyst.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
your catalyst. She made it all happen.
And has continued. She is my mentor. She is my fairy godmother. And it's one of those things, I can say that about her, but I am one of hundreds, if not thousands of people
Wow.
that would say that
Uh-huh.
about Catherine Schuler. I recognize that it's not something peculiar to my relationship with her.
Uh-huh.
It is something that is a grand and glorious peculiarity
She takes-
of Catherine Schuler, that she recognized there's a difference. Celebrity
yeah,
is about one person
absolutely.
being worshipped from far away,
Yeah.
but being an artist, and she's an artist.
Catherine
Yes.
is an artist, but she's also the most generous person.
Well,
and
it's
so
about
so
that,
kind
yeah.
and so
community,
caring.
that connection, that catharsis. I mean, what we're doing here,
Yeah.
being at 50 Shades of Gay, being at Pangea, these places are nexuses of community.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. And places where you can create.
Yes.
And that are becoming fewer and fewer in New York. And it's up to all of us
Yeah.
to keep carrying this forward. That is what we're all doing.
Well, and I
right?
didn't realize what a blessing it would be to have a platform like Cuckoo's Open Mic, where we have a featured actor as a half-hour set every week.
Mhm.
And there's someone who came back just this week and they said, "You are the first person who platformed me."
Wow.
And it was
Wow.
like, now I'm doing a residency at Gotham Comedy Club.
Hmm.
And it's like that sort of thing where it's like, if we're able to make those connections, make space, because it's not all
Isn't
for
that
me.
great?
Mhm.
Like I work with Catherine as her production assistant for
Right.
Cosmoda, which is the cosplay runway.
Mhm.
It's like if New York Fashion Week and Comic Con had a baby.
Yeah.
And so we've done about
That's exactly right.
we've done something like 15 shows in New York Fashion Week over the last 4 seasons. And there was someone I know who I met through where I just work as a job. And they moved to New York to be a model. And I was able
Oh,
to
you were
get
able
them.
to-
I was able to get them on the runway. And now they're
Nice.
linked up with designers and doing
Right.
their thing. They just
Very
And
good.
because of Catherine. Okay. And we had Benji Bradshaw on this show.
Yes.
I'm like, are you booked for Fashion Week? Because he's so gorgeous. He's got such style. He's a
Mhm.
singer, young, and he wasn't booked for Fashion Week. I'm like, this is my friend Catherine
Yes.
Schuler. I
Yeah,
want you to
yeah.
call her. He did Fashion Week,
Yeah.
and
Yes,
he's over in the UK now. He thanked me
Oh.
for, but this is what
That's
paying
very
it
Cat.
forward.
That's
It
very
is.
Cat.
Well, but we all do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
yes.
this is really important. You know what? We all do it. We're all going to work because of it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And it's
You know?
it's one of those things that you don't know. Sometimes people will think I am this one thing.
Mhm.
Right.
you know, like I right now I think of myself primarily as like a songwriter, but
You're a producer, though.
I'm
How can you like
yeah.
not
Well,
say you're a bit? You
You're
are
a
an
producer,
actor.
you're a
Yeah.
host,
And
you're a
that's-
singer, you're
right.
there's so
well,
much
and that's
to you.
and that's exactly it. I am, depending on which room I am in,
right,
I can
right.
see where
That
I
is a
need to
good
fit
way
in
to
and
put
that.
it.
Exactly.
Right.
You know, do you need me to be the producer right now? Do you need me to turn on
Right.
that part of my brain? Do you need me to just be the talent and do my part of it?
Right.
Okay, then I've already spoken to the tech, gotten them my tracks, given them my cue lines via email, so they know exactly when to start up. It's when I first got here to the city, Catherine invited me to a fashion show and brunch she was doing at the time, Runway the Real Way.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, Runway the Real Way.
And so the first time I showed up, and I showed up early, it's just the theater maker and me. If you're early, you're on time. If you're on
Yes.
time, you're late. If you're late,
Yep.
you're fired.
Yes,
And
right.
so I was early, and then the second time I showed up early and I brought some people, and then the third time I showed up early and I was like, can I help move a chair? And
right.
then,
Can I
Yes,
do
yes,
something?
and then
right.
by the fourth time, she called me the day before and she said, well, you're going to be there tomorrow, right? And it was one of those things that, you know, I found my way in. Now, did I move to New York City to work on fashion shows?
Yeah.
Most
yeah.
certain not. And I wasn't nearly as fashionable or as aware of fashion as I am now. And
But
so
you were there.
But I was
And
there.
you were willing
was
to go the
showing
extra
that.
mile. Tim, you do that all the time. You
Mhm,
always,
yeah,
whatever
yeah,
Tim
but
works on, he pitches in 150%. Sometimes it's frustrating when the people you're working with don't have their act together.
Yes.
And you can see how you can make it better, but you really have
it's
to
not your
hold back.
place. It's
Right,
not your
exactly.
place.
exactly.
This is
That
not
right.
That's a
yeah.
fine
It's that-
line.
and you're like, okay, if there's anything you'd like me to do, and you just have to leave it at that.
And it's okay. And it's one of
Yeah.
those things. It's okay.
Right. It's okay.
It's
right.
I find that doing the fashion show in particular, there's this one designer, Carmen Brewery, and she just sent me a wonderful gift this year. She's based out of New Jersey, and I just love her stuff. Her and On Paragon are two of my favorite designers. Paris, if you're watching, I love you.
I love it.
But so we were doing one of the fashion shows, and this cape came out onto the runway, and it was all these little tiny pieces of fabric, and it was like a floor-length cape, like floor-length on me.
How all this little pieces
All
put
these
together.
little tiny pieces to make
Wow.
the cape. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I love that. And the little lady sitting next to me, Carmen, she said, oh, I made that.
Oh,
And then she started to describe that what it was is she was working on other garments in her workshop. Pieces of fabric would fall to the floor. And so it's not to just throw away those scraps.
Amazing.
Wow.
sew them on this
Amazing.
cape.
Great
Wow.
story.
8 months to fabricate
wow.
Amazing.
Oh, my
And
God.
it. That's when the connection was made for me with fashion, where it's like, this piece was just an idea in your head.
Right.
Yes.
You're the person who took 8 months to fabricate and make this happen.
Mhm.
It goes from, oh, I like that, to, oh, I love this. This is
Right.
art.
Right.
It's exactly
right,
what you're
right.
doing with your shows, though.
Exactly.
You are taking-
Exactly.
yeah.
Now one thing with Kat is Kat does all of this stuff and helps so many people
Yeah.
and looks good
She's
doing
gorgeous.
it.
So gorgeous.
She
My-
is so stunning.
My husband, my late husband, Alan Kaplan, would book Kat all the time in the 80s. She was the plus size model for Lane Bryant, and he
gorgeous.
totally loved her. So I got to meet her back then, and she was that person then and the same person now.
Mhm.
Now that she's a very special human being.
Yes.
You know, I don't know if you know this. So her husband, Mark Grunwald, he
Yes.
wrote Captain America
Yes.
for the longest
Mhm.
time,
Yeah.
aside from Stan Lee. Like #1 guy at Marvel in the late 90s, late 80s, early 90s before he passed. And she went in for a model casting for She-Hulk. And he was there behind the table. And he
So
said,
funny.
he said, I think he was like, I think you'd
Make a
make
good
much better.
She-Hulk.
Well, no, he said, I think you'd make much better casting as Enchantress. And the connection was made.
And
But it was,
then the
I
rest was
love that.
history.
she was like, what a flattering thing for someone to
So,
say.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that because Catherine too, she ran a comedy troupe for many years, The Nerve.
I
And-
didn't realize that she was the Nerve. I lost track with her from modeling.
And so
Yeah.
she was, because they were trying to, get everyone to be like Twiggy. And so she went to one of those like farms of like, health farms to like
Mhm.
starve yourself skinny. And she
Yeah.
got to a point where she was like, she was like,
Crazy.
if I have to do this
Yeah.
to get what I want, then I don't
can't
think
do
I
it,
actually
yeah.
want this.
Right.
And so she came back. And so The Nerve, as her comedy troupe, was The Nerve to Be Yourself.
Oh, I love that.
And so she
Yeah.
did that for me, and it led to, many other opportunities. As someone
Absolutely.
came and saw The Nerve and said, well, did you hear about, the plus size modeling? and she thought the lady was like literally making a joke. Like
wow,
at her
that's
expense,
how
because
I
that's how
did not
little the
know this
industry
story.
was.
Right, and plus
Wow.
size modeling really exploded back in those days.
Yeah.
And she was at the forefront of
She
that.
was.
She
Yeah.
was, because it's one of those things that by the time she showed up there, she knew her value. She
Yeah.
knew her
Right.
creativity.
She also has the
No.
face, the amazing face,
She's-
everything about her.
and she understands like the camera.
yes.
You know, in a way that like
Yes.
watching. There's some people who, when you watch them model, it makes your mind better.
Right.
Mhm.
Because they're
I like that.
because they're storytellers.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like when you put on that outfit,
Yeah.
what story, what character does that evoke,
It's a
in you? What
skill.
emotion? So, and then a lot of my favorite models are kind of atmospheric. From the
Mhm.
moment they hit the runway,
I
you
love
feel
that.
that like in
Yeah.
the room.
Yeah.
And you know,
It's
and-
presentation.
It's
What does
presentation.
this-
I never heard the word atmospheric be talked
Now-
about before. Yes.
Now we do have a video.
we have a video.
And tell us a little bit about it before we say it.
well, I have been working with Maria Connor
I
to
love
adapt
Maria
into a
Connor, can we give a
musical.
shout out to Maria
We love her.
Connor?
Which actually I did.
yeah.
I sang on one song.
And
Yeah.
the concept album for Girl Shock, the
Girl
musical,
Shock.
is live
I dressed
now.
up like a girl for Halloween,
and then she
the
took
red-
over my life.
and then she took over my life. Yeah.
And so I've been working with Maria on that. But we have also recorded a few sets. And so when people weren't sure who they wanted to vote for in this last presidential election, we did have Maria Connor run for president.
she was. I
did
had a
that.
button.
And so this is a little bonus track that we recorded, though.
I love it.
That is one that I've been taking around. And this is one of my original numbers. Maria on piano, Omar Kabir on keys, Jacobot on bass, and yours truly singing. This is one of my original songs. Excuse me, Mr. Hayward.
Oh, love it.
Okay.
Okay.
Take it away.
And there's
Excuse me, Mr. Hayward, I saw you across the hotel bar. Couldn't help but notice how lovely you are. If you're free this afternoon, could you make some time for me? Could you pencil me in for a little sin after your meeting at 3? Forgive me, Mr. Hayward, for the devil in my eye, for the lipstick on your collar, and having undone your tie. And if I embarrass you by looking at you the way you looked at me, could you pencil me in for a tonic and gin after your meeting at 3? I'm not usually so fervent in my fever or so ardent in my ardor. It just seems to me that you would be an easy man to adore. So could we find a way, even if it's wayward? It's not every day that I meet a Mr. Hayward. What are you thinking, Mr. Hayward?
love this song.
What secrets do you have to share? Should we go somewhere more private? And you could tell me there. Funnily enough, I have a hotel room key. Could you pencil me in or get to canceling your meeting at 3? I'm not usually so fervent in my fever or so ardent in my ardor. It just seems to me that you would be an easy man to adore. I'm so glad we found a way, even if it's wayward. Hip, hip, hooray for Mr. Hayward.
Yes.
Love it.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so I have to ask you your
Yes.
style of singing, and I've always said it's so unique. Is it crooning? How would you describe your
Well,
style?
I am a jazz singer.
That's
Yeah,
jazz.
I'm a
right.
I'm a jazz
Right.
singer. Like when I was growing up, what I was listening to was like Dinah Washington, Ella Fitzgerald, Nancy
Okay,
Washington.
yeah.
Now then I cut my teeth doing musical theater. And so I've got that
Interesting,
sort of
yeah.
like real love, and that place is deep in me. When I started collaborating with other people to write music, most of the people that I was collaborating with were rockers. And so it was
Okay.
this interesting thing of like, okay, do I pull myself into their world? Do I pull them into my world? And you know, it took time. I've written, working with Will for 5 years, we have written a lot of songs, and then I perform live a lot, and that sort of scratches the itch for me. Although I need to start recording my music and get
Yeah.
out. That's what 2026 is about, is
Good.
recording this.
Yeah,
I'm looking to make a music video for that song in particular with GPC
That-
Entertainment,
That's a great song.
and like as a starter, like get it out there. You'll
Yeah.
see.
But I was just going to say, because like rockers, for example, rocker throws it out there. They throw their voice, they throw the song out there, and that I hear that in you.
Well, and there's also something of that like musical theater that I think is that there's something of like musical theater. Often when a character wants something, they talk to get it.
Mhm.
And when that's not working, they sing to get it.
Right.
And when that's not working, they dance to get it. Tends to be the, you know,
the
way
progression.
the progression with that. And so there's something about like this very like raw and emotional. I don't think of, I don't really have any aspirations of like trying to be cool with what I'm doing.
Mhm.
I want to be really honest.
Yeah, and
Right.
you are.
Right.
And to have like that sort of like, this is who I am and this is what I'm feeling. And then I do often think of my songs as being sung by a character.
Mhm.
And so I, you know,
I
will tend
see
to have
that.
all this like backstory around the
Right.
song as well that informs like, okay, well, what does it look like for this person to want this and be asking for it and to be going for it? And so it has that really, it has that sort of push and pull. And then I also feel, Billie Holiday said, I can't sing this song the same way twice. I never feel the same way twice.
Right.
So
That's
well
interesting.
put.
And so I
Right.
really try to honor that in the performances. Like,
Right.
well, what does this room need? How
Yeah,
does it
yeah.
feel in this
Uh-huh.
room? Who's feeling it? Because
Mhm.
if you've got one person in the audience who's like plugged in, I was doing a show the other day. There's this little guy sitting in the front, a short guy, my only weakness, and he was
Short
and he
guy.
was like looking up at me, you know, as I was singing the song.
idolizing you. Yeah.
And so there was a few moments, you know, where I was doing the song "P.S. I Love You," but so anytime it got around to the lyric, you know, I thought I'd drop you a line. The folks are swell. Me, I'm doing fine. I'm in bed at night by night. I'd find him there in the audience, and I'd say, "P.S. I love you."
I know, but that's connecting.
And it's that sort of-
Connecting. When you connect with one person, you can connect with your whole audience.
Because I think that we're not in the same room.
Right.
I don't believe in a fourth wall.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And it's,
right.
and it's like that's something that I
and also you
Interesting.
can tell who's feeling
Yeah.
who's feeling you.
Yeah. And I think I'm funny and I can write songs really, really well. I think again that writing songs is what I do best. And I can do it quickly.
Mhm.
But I think that what I provide my audience more is a space of emotional catharsis.
Right.
Mhm.
Like I did a show here at Pangea, and I was doing, it might have been when I was doing the Hour of Love songs. And I had someone come up to me and they said, "Jackson, thank you so much. And that is the first time that I laughed since my mom died."
Mm.
That's
And-
right. That's
Yeah.
what you do.
And I just gave him the biggest hug,
Yeah.
you know, that I could. And it was
yeah.
like that sort of thing where it's like,
beautiful.
because so often there's this band Cat's Eye that's going around, which they're so talented. And they have this song they're doing, and the hook of the song is "Eat zucchini, eat zucchini." And I look at it, and it's like I'm looking at them, and I'm like, "You guys are so good. I wish I could write a song for you. How did this? Was this written by AI?"
Right,
Was this like,
right,
did we do that?
right.
It's one of those things that when you have a song that talks about, you know, that song that we're just listening to, it's an instantaneous love affair.
Right.
If you have a song that is talking about, I have a song that I do that's about Barbara Gustern.
Oh, Barbara
Mm.
Mayer Gustern. Wow.
Yeah, the closest thing there ever was to a saint on this planet,
Yeah, I
Barbara
agree.
Gustern. I have a song that I do, which was actually is included in the song show that I just did, "I'm That Witch." But
you wrote it about her.
I wrote it about her.
Wow.
And the song is.
I would love to hear it.
I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you. The song is called "I Have Ghosts," and in the conceit of the show, I'm that witch. I'm playing a cat, and something that's made very clear is I do not have a witch. And so our leading lady asks me at one point, she's like,
You're
why?
a cat without a witch.
When she says to me, why don't you have a witch? And I confess to her, I used to have a witch. But then I lost her and I don't know if I want another one. And so the song, at that time, I had a roommate of mine who was also a dear friend who was like moving out. And so we had an empty room in our apartment, but then I realized there was all of this stuff in the apartment that didn't belong to anybody anymore.
That was just left behind.
Right. It wasn't my friends who had just moved out. Right. It's like this must have accrued
Pieces
over
of
years.
People's lives that had come through the apartment, parts of their lives.
Then I also have this thing that I maybe you'll relate to this. I don't know if this. I have a ghost map of New York City in my head. That used to be my favorite bar on 42nd and 8th Avenue, Urbo. And it doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
And I met someone who I loved very much and have written a lot of songs there right outside of Urbo. We went inside. They used to, on Wednesdays, have live jazz bands and swing dance instructors. And they had this large sort of ballroom right there. Wow. And so it was just covered in couples dancing.
Wow.
And so it's like, as I was like going through that and starting to write this song, the opening line of the song says, "Those cans belong to no one. Ignore the scratches on the floor. They were put there by someone who doesn't live here anymore."
Wow.
And that song is about this sort of thing of all of these ways that people have touched us and been here with us, that it's almost like, as much as I am in a house that has all these memories that are physically things that were left behind,
right.
Internally, I like Thai food because a friend of mine in college said that's what we're having tonight and ordered for me. And now I have that, but I can pinpoint the first time that someone introduced that to my life and what that did for me. And so Barbara Gustern is someone who, if you were in the East Village, you were in a room with her at multiple times. Everyone who I loved and enjoyed, from Justin Vivian Bond. She's worked with everybody. She's worked with everybody, and again, she's the closest thing there was to a saint. And I had one lesson with her, and then she was gone. But she came to me before any of it. She said, "I see you at Pangea all the time. Tell me about yourself." And then she said, "Would you like to have dinner one night?" And I'm like, that is amazing. That's so inclusive. That's who I am. And I said, I would. And we had dinner right down there in that corner. Then I did a lesson with her, and then she was gone a week later. 1 week later, she was gone from this earth. This is the kind of stuff that happens.
But it's also, like you were saying about like the things that were left behind. A lot of times there might be something that meant so much to the person while they were here, but is now just been discarded and doesn't, like, and it means nothing to the next person.
Right. And it's like, I wonder about, because something that I do and found was really good for me is I started to collect the artwork from my friends, and every time I do a show, I try to collect one physical thing.
I love that. Show. Right.
And it's like the first time that I got to do a show and like running the backstage for a show in New York Fashion Week, there were bottles of champagne that a sponsor had left. And I took the cork of 3 of those bottles of champagne and just have them up on top of a little picture frame. Family Liquid Dinner is one of my favorite shows.
Yes,
it was one of the first
they're
shows
very funny.
And getting to work with a great gift of being in New York is getting to be friends with someone you're a big fan of.
Yeah.
And I'm just the biggest fan of those ladies. And they did I'm That Witch. They did XOXO. But I remember when Kylie was pregnant with little Milo, and the next month they brought him to the cabaret. They had him wrapped up like a little burrito. They had little noise canceling headphones, and they had printed out the words to Goodnight Moon. And so before the show even started, about 9 p.m., we all read the words to Goodnight Moon.
I love it.
And then his dad just whisked him away. But I had everyone who performed there that night sign it. And I've just got that hanging up on my wall.
Nice.
But what you're talking about, though, these are all the triggers, the corks, the Goodnight Moon. They're triggers for your songwriting.
Oh, yeah.
You take the object and you hold it. It's the memory, and then the rest comes.
It's almost like a muse.
Right.
Well, and I forget who said it, because but they said that artistic thinking is this sort of like free association of things. Like, look at how the lines on your hand look like the cracks on the ice, look like the
Right.
lines on the leaf.
Mhm.
And so there's something when it comes to songwriting that I very much feel that there is this poetry to it. But I also think that you have to, I'm very structural. Like, if we needed to sit and write a song right now, I could, like, let's, grab words out of a hat and make a song.
I
could
just
do
gonna
that right
say that.
now.
Yeah.
I'm not very precious about it. There are some songs, and I think all songwriters experience this. There are some songs where it's like the sky opens up and the universe is like, sit here and write this song for the next 15
Because
minutes.
you can.
Right.
Because you can and you can do it.
I think songs like that want to be written.
Right.
And if you
Mhm.
don't catch them in that, then someone else gets it.
But you take it up a notch. Like, say we're going to write a song about a tree.
Yes.
Like, somebody might be, oh, it's so big and so broad and so strong and so sturdy. And you're like,
Well, and the first,
and you would come at it more like,
well, the first
what
thing,
is its name?
the first thing that
Where
came,
is it
You would
rooted?
personalize
the
it,
roots, the-
right?
so if we were going to do a song about a tree, here's what came to mind then for me is there was a tree at my childhood home that was it had started to split,
Uh-huh.
and so someone reinforced it with bricks,
Wow.
and then the tree eventually grew around those bricks.
Wow.
So like at the base of the tree,
Wow.
there's this
Yeah,
like
really.
window
Wow.
that has bricks in it. And so thinking of it, when we said, okay, let's write a song about the tree, that's the tree that popped to mind.
But see,
for
that's
me.
what I mean. It's not just about any generic tree. It's like you're
That's
so
super
specific.
personal. Yeah.
And then like
That's amazing.
and then like if I was doing it, so I would probably do it on ukulele, which is where I tend to write.
Right. I
writing
love
songs.
I love your ukulele, by the way. You were the first person I ever heard play ukulele. I
Well,
knew it existed, but I never heard any. Maybe on
Well,
Heavy
and it was-
Duty. They played it on the
well, and it
Heavy
was one of
Duty
those things that
show.
like the inspiration for that too was Amanda Palmer plays ukulele,
Yeah.
really brilliant. Has the ukulele anthem, which is a lot of fun.
Mhm.
Nellie Mackay does some old jazz standards on ukulele, which I was
ukulele.
like, okay, I want to do that. And then Penn Jillette of Penn and Teller
Penn and Teller.
is
right,
a big
right.
fan of Tiny Tim. Is a big and
Yeah,
like
yeah. They
owns
were all
like
right.
something like
ukulele.
8 of Tiny Tim's ukuleles and stuff. And he's someone who I just admire so much. It's one of my showbiz heroes.
So the tree song.
But the tree song, yeah, you can
Tree
see
song.
a little,
Yeah,
he's got-
exactly.
With the
so it's
window
like-
and the bricks.
So it's like if you
I
did,
love that.
but if you did something like da, 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 da. So there are bricks inside the old tree, because one year it almost died. So to hold it together, someone put bricks inside. Now it's grown to be a big old tree. Sometimes being fine doesn't happen naturally.
I love
Something-
this.
something like that.
Right. This is brilliant. So you just rolled it out.
Well, and the thing that
and it's
happened,
your personal tree. That's
It's
exactly what Tim was
But
saying.
that's what I'm saying. Who else
Yeah.
would
Personalize a
mix
tree
a
that
tree
way.
in the growth of a tree? And that's
well, and it
that's
just,
what I'm talking about. You're so unique and so original.
well, and the ones that got me in 2020 when I was like, all I was doing was writing.
Mhm.
I was working with Dan Ricker on this musical that I hope one day comes to fruition called Hag.
Yes.
And
I want to be in that one. I want a part
Well,
in
it's
Hag.
And so there was one song that I wanted to do, and I knew I wanted it to be like a partner song, like an Irving Berlin,
Mhm.
old-fashioned
Yeah,
wedding.
yeah.
That sort of, two melodies that you stack them on top of each other and they
Oh.
work perfectly together. And we can all, think of examples, but it was very like Irving Berlin, Annie Get Your Gun, and these sorts of things. Call Me Madam has a great one as well.
Mhm.
And so I was thinking about that, but I also wanted it to be a patter song.
Mhm.
And it was one of those things, I knew it could work, and I was sitting there struggling with it. And so then one day it was like, well, you've got nothing else going on, you got to figure it out. And so for the patter part of that song, I wrote a little piece that said, so just setting up story-wise, a young lady moves to New York with her GBF, her gay best friend,
Mhm.
and she's determined to make him into a star. And so I wrote a little piece, and it says, So we moved to New York and we get to work to make a reality of our dreams. Just a theater nerd and her songbird living like sardines in Queens. Seb has got the raw material. He just needs someone to bend it. I'll make a gold star to this iron bar because that is what a friend is. Got to get him to the gym. Got to get him to class for acting, singing, and dancing. Are the headshots good? Are the songs cut right? There's no time for romancing because being on stage is the iceberg's tip when you're working for your dreams. You're a theater nerd and her songbird living like sardines in Queens. So I work 2 jobs and I pay our rent and get him ready for audition rooms. And I get him gigs at East Village bars and I let him sleep till noon. He's a specimen, but I'm reticent to make the man of my dreams because theater doesn't make itself. It's made by sardines in Queens.
Yes, yes,
Oh my
yes.
God.
Well, and so I got through that number.
Hilarious.
And I was like, I can write anything.
Right.
And then I had written one other for that show, which I think it sums up what songwriting feels like for me. And so do you know the Jerry Herman story of how Jerry Herman booked his first Broadway show?
No.
So it's the elevator story. And Jerry
those.
Herman is in an elevator with David Merrick, the Abominable Showman.
Of course.
Okay.
And the elevator is going down. And Jerry Herman says, I can write a catchy, hummable show tune that you will love before we get to the ground floor.
Oh, wow.
And so they get down to the ground floor.
Did it.
And then they ride that
Yeah.
elevator back up and sign the contracts for Hello Dolly.
Yes.
I did not know
yes.
that
It's a
story.
great
That
little
is
showbiz legend,
great.
you know?
Love
That's
that.
a great story.
And so so in the show, at one point, a character challenges another one to basically do that.
Mhm.
Right?
Wow.
You're the reincarnation of Jerry Herman. Prove it. Write a song right now.
Right.
Little pressure, you know. And this is, I think, the song that kind of sums up like how I feel about songwriting. And it says, when you start to write a melody, and I'm not sure what the song will be. Is it a romantic ballad or lay jazz hot? You got to start to figure out what you got. So you follow that melody right along. And that right there's a song.
Oh my God.
And that's like
That's brilliant.
well, and then so the second verse then says, and this is the end of it says, because when the band starts to play your song and someone starts to sing along, you get your fun in with your run in with fate, achieve relief as those who disbelieve capitulate as you follow that melody right along. That right there's a song.
Wow.
And it's
wow.
But I just love it. I actually
You're
and-
just amazing.
and
I'm
working
just
with-
sitting here and listening to this.
well,
you
and
know?
working with Will Studebaker, I found someone who matches my freak.
Nice.
And
nice.
to have a creative that's like in there with
I know,
you.
and
Yes,
he's such like he
yes.
doesn't. There's nothing freaky looking about Will. He is
No.
pure ginger.
And-
You know, like really, the ginger coloring.
Oh, yeah.
Some freckles.
And he's got tattoos. He's a very
I
attractive
know he's
man out of he looks right out of Bushwick, you know.
right.
He plays in his other band Curl, and he plays guitar, he plays bass, he produces the music that we work on now too. So we're doing
Love
bedroom
it.
pop, I'm telling people, and he is really
That genre, bedroom pop.
I do not have enough kind things to say about Will.
Well,
and how much I like
shout
him.
out to Will. I haven't seen him in a bit, but I love that he's the other half of you.
Well, and it was one of those things that when we got into it of like doing I'm That Witch and like 11 songs between the end of June and Labor Day, there was one song where it's like, I lost the script, Will. I'm not sure what we're doing here. And Will was like, I know what we're doing here. And he was able to pull us through that.
Nice.
And we got to the other side, and it's this incredible piece. It was the one about the dead girl from every true crime podcast.
I
Yeah.
love that.
The sort of conceit that we had for that character is, what if they are not able to like be laid to rest because everybody keeps talking about them?
Mhm.
And so they keep getting turned over. And so like the hook of that song ended up saying, take me back or let me fade to black without
Wow.
a, who is that? What is she? Read no elegy.
Wow.
And it
Wow.
was one of those things that Will had such a clear concept of what that music was and was able to keep us
He
focused
was
on
able
that.
to do it.
And then there was another one, which was more of a dance piece. Now, I'm the only person in the collaboration who I am at the writing rehearsals, I'm at the production meetings, I'm at the dance rehearsals, I'm at the singer rehearsals. And so I have to kind of keep track of how everything is moving forward to make sure it all, you know, makes sense and goes together. And you know what? I think this is something that is, I write musicals, and I've been able to spend this last year in a very real way, not only working my craft, but learning my craft.
Because
while you're working your craft, right?
Because what we did that first year, that variety show, that walked. So this version of I'm That Witch this year could fly. And it was, we had to learn what our systems were and what our ways of doing this were and how we were able to work and communicate with each other. I find when you are working with people creatively that you have to create a shorthand.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, if something really works, like, and we like what it is musically, something that I know Will and I will say all the time is we'll say, oh yeah, that really fucks. And it's like, that's something that we both know that we're like saying this in a very positive and meaningful way.
But it helps to have someone who creatively you trust.
I was just going to say, there has to be a trust between you.
There has to be a trust between you. I want to get out here that December 18th.
Yes.
You're going to be at $3 bills at 7 o'clock
I
in
sure
Brooklyn.
am. I'm out there with GPC Entertainment. Now, this one is not one that I wrote, although I am doing 3 of my original numbers.
And what time does that show start? Don't tell me 11 o'clock.
8 p.m.
Oh, it's at 8
p.m.
Oh,
so
okay.
doors at 7. Doors at 7.
Doors at 7.
Show at 8. That's
Okay.
that's with GPC Entertainment. It's the Naughty and Nice Cabaret.
I love it.
So you choose your team.
A little bit of both.
I've chose
That's
mine.
the only way.
Tim chose his and he's not talking.
Oh, man.
We also have
God.
some
Thank you
comments.
so
We always like to
much.
read the comments.
Thank you so much for
you're
just
amazing.
sharing
Ian
everything.
I can't see it. Ian
Pearsall says hello.
Hello, Ian. Apollo Cabrera, thank you for always tuning in. You're the best. Hi. Suze, we love you.
Genero is the designer.
Right.
From
She's an amazing designer. If you need
and
costumes,
she did a lot for 50 Shades of Grey.
If you need a costume for your shows, here we go. We're back on another commercial. You need to reach her. She is on all social media, and Tim and I both know her. She's an amazing costume designer.
Benji Bradshaw,
love Benji,
who Wendy had mentioned earlier.
Yep, you're fabulous. Benji's fabulous. He's in the UK now.
But also says hello,
Killing
Oh, I'm sorry. That's Rose Trentman.
Yeah.
Said hello, my darlings. Greetings from
LA.
California.
Yeah, Rose is in LA
Hugs
right
to all
now.
3 of
Hugs
you.
back
We
at you.
love Rose.
We love you, Rose.
And timing is always dictated by divine order. Always trust the universe.
Ah,
I
yeah.
agree.
And on that note,
I agree, Rose.
Yeah, absolutely. We feel the same. And
love and hugs
Benji
to
loves Catherine,
for who she is, a very generous person. And Benji says, yes, I love Catherine.
There we go.
I got to work for her. Thanks to you, Wendy.
Right.
Or walk for her.
Yeah,
yes.
Benji walked in the show. Yeah.
And Twyla Childress, hi, from Indiana. Hi.
Yes.
Robert Vest. Oh, I love him. He's a songwriter.
Oh, yeah.
Songwriter. I'm at my piano watching. Love you. And Benji says, love the songwriting talent.
Benji was with us the whole time.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
Benji's a wonderful
Rick
performer.
Cook, who you met at 50 Shades, my friend from Indiana.
Hi, Rick.
Says Rick Show. Hey.
Here we are. We're on the computer today.
We're live.
You can have us live or on the computer any way you want.
Oh, and thank you everybody so much for tuning in. We do appreciate it.
We love Jackson.
So now tell everybody how they can reach you.
Yes.
Absolutely. So you want to reach out to me on Instagram at Out Late Tonight. There's also a cuckoos_open mic there on Instagram. Although if you want to reach out to me personally, Out Late Tonight's the way to do it. And if you're interested in booking any of the shows that I've been working on, you want to go to gpc-entertainment.com. I am working with them. I am loving them. I'm working on developing some one-man shows with them for next year as well. So we're going to have our variety shows that we do here in Manhattan. And then hopefully I'll be able to throw Will Studebaker in a duffel bag and come and see you.
Yes. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you guys for having me.
Oh my God.
Jackson
The best.
Sturkey.
I'm going to have more of your cookies.
Yes, but then I didn't make.
We love Jackson Sturkey that rhymes with turkey.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We will be back next week before we take 2 weeks off. Really needed. But we'll see you all next week. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.